Golden sun upon the sea,
golden sun is over me,
ukulele melody,
drifting on.
Hey there, we pour it on our cereal, we put it in our coffee, and honestly, we hardly ever think about it, right? But the journey that milk takes from a cow all the way to your fridge, it's this incredible, high-tech, super regulated road trip. It's packed with science and just amazing precision. So let's follow the milk and see exactly how it gets from the farm to your front door. So let me ask you this. Have you ever poured a glass of milk and wondered why it doesn't have that thick layer of cream sitting on top? Like you see in old movies? Well, that's no accident. The answer is this fascinating process of modern food engineering, and we are going to break down exactly how it works. All right, so our journey kicks off, of course, at the farm. But I want you to just forget any old-timey image of a farmer on a wooden stool with a bucket. Today's dairy farms are just marvels of efficiency and tech. And the very first problem they have to solve? Well, it's a hot one. Yeah, you're seeing that right. When milk first leaves the cow, it's literally at body temperature, a pretty warm 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 38 Celsius. Now, that's the perfect temperature for bacteria to just have a field day. So to stop that from happening, the milk has to get cooled down, and it has to get cooled down fast. So here's how they do it. A lot of modern farms use these incredible automated milking systems. Some even use a rotating platform called a carousel that can milk dozens of cows all at once. The cows get sanitized before and after, and then that warm milk is piped immediately into a holding tank. There, it's flash-cooled to 45 degrees Fahrenheit, or even lower. It's a brilliant first step that locks in the freshness and safety right from the get-go. Okay, so the milk is chilled and it's ready for pickup. But before that tanker truck can even think about leaving the farm, the milk has to pass its first big test. And trust me, this is where quality control gets really, really serious. Someone once called the antibiotic testing process the strictest bouncer in the food industry. And honestly, that's not an exaggeration. Now, farmers work incredibly hard to keep their cows healthy. If a cow does get sick and needs antibiotics, she's taken out of the lineup and her milk is discarded. But just to be 100% sure, every single batch of milk gets tested. And when I say they're serious, I mean it. The policy is zero tolerance. If even the tiniest trace of antibiotics shows up in a sample, the entire tanker truck full of milk, we're talking thousands of gallons, is rejected. It gets dumped. And the farm responsible? They have to pay for the whole lost load. So you better believe they are incredibly careful. It's a huge incentive to keep the milk pure. So, once the milk gets the all clear, it arrives at the processing plant. And this place, it's basically where scientists and technicians take over. They step in to solve milk's natural problems and turn it into the smooth, consistent drink that we all expect to find in the carton. See, the thing about milk straight from the cow is that it's kind of inconsistent. The fat, which is the cream, it naturally wants to float to the top. And the amount of fat can be different from cow to cow, day to day. Modern processing takes all those variables and turns them into a precise, perfectly smooth solution. The first step in this makeover is called standardization. They take the raw milk and spin it in a giant centrifuge, which separates the heavy cream from the lighter skim milk. Then, acting like a sort of dairy DJ, the plant remixes them back together in exact proportions. This is how they create whole milk, 2%, 1%, or skim. It's pretty amazing when you realize all those different cartons at the store came from the very same milk. And this right here, this is the answer to that question we asked at the beginning. To stop the cream from ever separating again, the milk goes through homogenization. It gets blasted at super high pressure through these tiny, tiny valves. This process literally smashes the big fat globules into microscopic particles. They become so small that they just stay evenly suspended in the milk, which gives you that consistently smooth texture and rich feel from the first sip to the very last drop. Okay, so our milk is now perfectly mixed and feels great, but it's not quite ready for your cereal bowl yet. Probably the single most important step for safety comes next. And for this, we have to thank a brilliant 19th century French scientist, the one and only Louis Pasteur. Pasteurization is all about one thing: killing dangerous bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli. The method you see for most milk in the dairy aisle is HTST. That stands for high temperature, short time. The milk is heated to 161 degrees for just 15 seconds. This gives it a shelf life in the fridge of about 2 to 3 weeks. But what about those cartons you see on the regular shelf? They go through UHT, or ultra high temperature treatment. We're talking a blistering 280 degrees for just 2 seconds. That allows them to last for 6 months or more without any refrigeration at all. We are so close. We're on the home stretch. The milk is now safe, it's consistent, it's smooth, but before it can be packaged, it has to face one final exam, and it also gets a little nutritional boost. So it goes to the lab for one last look. Technicians check the color, the smell, the fat content, everything. This is also the stage where vitamins A and D are often added to fortify the milk. And my personal favorite test, they check its freezing point. You might wonder why. Well, it's because water and milk freeze at slightly different temperatures. So this test is the ultimate lie detector to make sure nobody has watered down the product. It's the final purity check. After passing every single test with flying colors, the milk is finally packaged up in a sterile environment, and it's shipped out to your local grocery store. So now let's bring this whole incredible journey full circle, right back to your kitchen. So the next time you reach into the fridge and grab that carton, you'll know about the incredible amount of science and safety that went into making it. The added vitamin D is specifically there to help your body absorb all that calcium. Of course, if you prefer to get your calcium from other places, there are tons of great whole food options out there, like sunflower seeds, butternut squash, and kidney beans. I mean, when you think about it, from a 100-degree liquid on a farm to this highly engineered, super safe, and nutritious staple in your home, the journey of milk is it's truly remarkable. It really makes you think, after all that, whether it's whole, skim, or maybe something else entirely, what's your perfect pour?